Spring is here in all its glory. I absolutely love this time of year. Everything is so fresh and so green. Soon the scorching summer sun will be here, often making it hard sometimes to even sit outside with bugs and humidity. But today is a beautiful day to celebrate anything you like. For me, I'm making my way back into the kitchen and back to enjoying the beautiful home I've spent 35 years creating. With the recent passing of my mother, I realized life has to go on. I will always love and remember her. She is the best part of me. But this funk I have been in has got to end. Thank you for your prayers and your notes and your emails and all your comments. You are all a blessing to me. Now let's go make a delicious, simple supper. Okay, well, it's pretty early in the day, but I'm going to go ahead and start thinking about supper. Yes, I'm going to make a delicious, super simple supper tonight, a chicken dish. It's kind of a fried chicken, faux fried chicken, if you will, but it is so good and is made with my very own homemade sourdough breadcrumbs that I made yesterday. I'll tell you about that a little bit later, but boy, oh, they're so, so good. And on this chicken, it's just pure pleasure all the way. And it's one of Lou's favorite. So I'm going to go ahead and get this prepped. The chicken is just a little bit on the frozen side, not too terribly bad. All right, here's my 2 chicken breasts. I'm just going to clean them up a little bit. Just take that little bit of fat off. I'm going to put some stock together a little later today in my crock pot so it can be cooking all night long through the night. And I will stick that little piece right in there. All right, so take your chicken breast. This would be like the flat side. And just kind of turn it on its end. There's another little bit of fat back here off the back. I want to take that off too. Slip that over there. And you want to make a nice clean cut. It really does help if your chicken is just barely frozen. Enough to easily get through, but you can feel a little bit of frostiness right down the middle. And look at that. It's just perfect. 1, 2 beautiful pieces of chicken ready to go. All right, I'm going to put a little bit of coconut oil into my cast iron skillet here. Oh boy. Why is that so hard? I mean, it's really hard. Let's see, what can I do here? That's hard. That's the hardest coconut oil I think I have ever put a spoon into. I don't know why. I just don't know why. I guess, you know what? It's kind of cool in the house today with the air conditioning on. That's got to be it. So I'm just going to break it up a little bit with my knife here. Now let's see what we can do now. Sorry about that. Technical difficulty, right? Oh boy. Happens in my kitchen every day, all day long for the most part. All right, good. All right, that is gonna cook down really nicely. I'll probably need, maybe just a tad bit more, but that is looking pretty good. They're not gonna be deep fried, you know, just a good cooking on each side, and that'll be just great. All right, let's get back to our chicken while this gets nice and hot. All right, I'm gonna need some eggs because I'm gonna do, you know, your traditional frying setup, which is egg and some kind of a flour batter. In place of that, of course, today I'm going to be using my sourdough breadcrumbs. Now, of course, you can use any kind of breadcrumbs that you like, whatever you have in your house. You know, if you don't have sourdough, you don't make sourdough, you don't want anything to do with sourdough, that's fine. If you like sourdough, just pick up a loaf at your grocery store and just do the same thing. Cut it up. What I did was cut it all up the day I made it. I cut it up, I put it on a sheet pan, big cookie sheet pan, and I let it sit out for about 24 hours. You know, just lightly covered with a towel, and it got nice and crunchy. And then I just stuck it in my oven and let it get crispy and just crunched it all up. I think before I put it in the oven, I think I put I have some olive oil that has some rosemary in it, kind of infused. I used that on top, just kind of sprinkled it all over the top, and then I put it in the oven. Oh boy. Boy, oh boy. Well, here's the proof right here of how it came out. It's just beautiful. And if you could smell that, I'm telling you, it's so good. It is so good, but it is the consistency of those panko crumbs. So if you've bought panko crumbs before, these will be very similar. Probably better, I bet you. But yeah, panko crumbs, if you can get a hold of them, this dish will just knock your socks off. It's that good and so simple. It's just, you know, one of those simple things. All right, so there you go. I'm gonna start with 2 eggs. I always start with 2 because I don't want to waste an egg. I hate it when at the end of dipping chicken, I have a whole bunch of this left over. So 2 will be fine for 4 chicken breasts. I think that will be just fine. And then, switch that over here. All right, let's do our crumbs. And all I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna be a little, you know, save a little bit here too as well, because if I need to add more crumbs, that's fine, but I don't want to have to throw them out. Now, like I said, these are already, oh my goodness, oh, they smell so good. These are already seasoned, so you don't need to season them at all. Now, if all you use is an olive oil or even coconut oil, then you'll have to add some, you know, like Italian breadcrumbs or something like that. That would be perfect. A little salt and pepper and you're good to go. All right, let's get the delicious simple supper going here. Nice and hot. It's perfect. I'm going to go ahead and very gently put in my chicken breast. Oh, look at that. Oh, that sound is so beautiful, isn't it? Just so beautiful. All right, very carefully. I think I might have to do just 3 at a time. Yep, I only have a 10-inch skillet. I need a bigger one, don't I? I'll do this guy in just a little bit. I'll just let him hang out to the side here. I'm gonna let this cook on one side till it's nice and crispy, and then I'll flip it over and I'll bring you right back. All right, well, my chicken is frying over there. I'm just kind of scratching my head thinking, what am I gonna have for sides? And I'm just gonna do it, this is a simple supper, so I'm gonna keep it pretty simple. I'm going to peel and cut up some potatoes and get them cooked. I just like that. I'm not even gonna mash them. I love them just peeled, cooked potatoes with a little bit of butter and salt, and they're so delicious, so good. And I'll have those on the side, and but you could do whatever you like, obviously, because the star of the show is that chicken. I guarantee you, this flavor of that chicken is so good, and that coconut oil, oh, and that's such a healthy oil. If you don't believe me, you hear me talk about coconut oil all the time. If you don't believe it, if you're still on the fence about oils at all, you know, do a little research about it and see what you come up with all on your own. And let me know. I mean, I'm always on the hunt for the newest, latest, you know, health issues and ideas out there. But fats have been pretty much on the good list for a very long time. Good, healthy fats. So that coconut oil with that sourdough breaded topping, I'm telling you, it's a real super treat. And like I said before, go ahead, get a loaf of sourdough bread at the grocery store and make your own crumbs with that. No shame in that game. I'm not going to tell anybody. And then I think I'm also just going to open up a can of green beans and butter them up a little bit and serve that on the side. So a nice, yummy, delicious, very hot summer day, delicious simple supper just for you tonight. All right, well, my dinner is cooking away over there. I'm just gonna start my stock, just really simply, lickety split. These are some chicken legs. These are pretty good sized chicken legs, actually. Look at those. And I'm gonna stick them in my crock pot, as many as I can get in there. And this is gonna give me some meat. It's gonna flavor the stock, and of course, it's gonna be a bone broth because of the bone from the chicken. The purpose of a bone broth, well, the health of a bone broth is just so incredible. You want to make sure that you cook your stock low and slow. I mean 24 hours, even longer if you want. The bones need to be so dry and so brittle when you're done with the bone broth that you can just snap them with your fingers. They have to be so dry. Not one bit of marrow is left, should be left in those bones. Yep. So I'm going to throw in some organic celery that I got the other day and used a bunch of tips and tails, I call it, of veggies when I'm doing vegetables, cutting them up for something, whatever's left over, the tips and the tails of them, I just throw them in a little baggie and put them down in my freezer. I love putting onion skin in my stock because it adds such a beautiful color. And there's a lot of health in the skins of the onions. Just make sure everything is nice and clean, obviously. All right, and that's it. That's all I'm gonna do. I may throw a carrot or two in there, but right now I'm gonna go ahead and fill this up all the way to the top. It's gonna take me a minute. I will put you through that. All right, and that is chicken stock, chicken bone broth, actually, that you can make at home really quick. Don't buy it, make it yourself. All right, I think I'm gonna put a little flour in here and just make a little bit of a gravy. Just a little bit. Here's some chicken stock. I'm not gonna put any butter in because there's all that coconut oil. Excuse me 1 second, I'm gonna turn my fan on. Okay. All right, this should thicken up really fast. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. It's already down on low. The cast iron has, of course, kept all that heat in it from all the frying. So it'll take a bit to cool down. But that's the great thing. That's the thing that we love about cast iron. All right, a little bit more chicken stock. And I'm just going to let this cook away until it's nice and thick. And then I'll probably add a little bit of cream in there, just a little bit, just to make it a nice, pretty, creamy color. And that is going to be delicious over the potatoes and these fantastic looking chicken breasts. Yeah, all right, everything is just looking great. All right, that is looking beautiful, isn't it? Let's put just a little bit of heavy cream in there, just a smidge, okay? Not even a quarter of a cup. Maybe that was a quarter of a cup, I'd say, or an eighth of a cup. Somewhere in between there. It's just a little tiny bit we want, just to make it a pretty color, that's all. And of course that delicious rich cream flavor. But this is just the very last thing you want to do at the tail end of your cooking. And then don't forget to re-season with a little bit more salt. Just a little bit, you don't need a ton. And some pepper. And I'm just going to let that come back to a bubble. I'll turn it up a little bit. Let it boil and bubble again for just a few minutes, and our dinner is done. The potatoes are all done. The meat is done. Oh, I'm so excited. You know what? I'm excited for Lou. Yeah, he gets to walk home to all this. Lucky man. Lucky man, lucky woman. Thank you so much for joining me today. I can't tell you what a joy it is to have you back in the kitchen with me today, and for me to be back in my kitchen. Of course, I'm in my kitchen every day, all day long, but I'm kind of walking through it. You know, I haven't really prepared all that many meals outside of maybe some eggs or something. I just haven't felt like it. I just haven't felt like it. You all know what's been going on in my background. And those of you who may be coming by for the first time, I lost my mom just a month ago. And whoo, it really threw me for a loop. I am not even kidding. I was not expecting what I came up against. I guess it's something that I never really gave thought to my entire life until it happened. And I know many of you, oh, your sweet comments, your notes, your emails, my goodness. How can I ever thank you? How can I ever thank you? The only way I can thank you is to make some of the best meals that I possibly can from my kitchen to yours. And I hope that you will find the key to this meal is that sourdough bread. Either make some, I know some of you do sourdough already, so go ahead and make yourself an extra loaf, put it aside and mark it as breadcrumbs, or go to the grocery store like I mentioned before, or a bakery and buy a beautiful, beautiful, really fine quality, hearty sourdough loaf, and come home and cut it all up and just, you know, make breadcrumbs out of it. It is so delicious. And please, please use a quality oil. Use, in particular, I just absolutely love coconut oil. I use it for everything. You do not taste coconut, not in the least. You won't even have a sense of an oil. You just have a sense of that bread, that delicious flavor from that bread, those crumbs, and the delicious, delicious plump white and juicy chicken. Keeps it really nice and juicy. And if I could ask you to please give me a thumbs up, it really helps my small channel move up a little bit and get more views. And if you could subscribe, if you've not subscribed, I sure would love to have you here. And please share my videos whenever, wherever you can on all your social medias, and tell your friends and family about Darlene at Super 60. Oh my goodness, how much I would appreciate that. So you enjoy this meal, please make it and let me know. And I will see you guys so very soon. It's just been so wonderful being with you. I could just almost cry right now. Thank you so much for being here. I love you all. I'll see you soon, and Lord bless.